Today's podcast is sponsored by Paunch Burger. Our child-sized soda is the size of a 2-year-old child. Liquidated. This podcast would also not be possible without Cabletown. We own NBC now. Welcome everyone to Coasters Explained, the podcast that no one is listening to. I am, as always, your host, Everett Johnson, and from Kyiv, Ukraine, I will be delivering you today's podcast. Today's episode is especially for those listening who have a fear of roller coasters in any capacity. I will be taking you through many of the safety precautions and the safety procedures that these coasters have to follow, and strategies to work your way up from the kiddie coasters to the Gigas and the Stratas. We have a great episode coming up, so let's ride on in. Before I take you through all of the built-in safety measures, I want to start with a number. The chances of being injured on a roller coaster is 1 in 24 million. For rides in theme parks, typically there are 8 injuries per million days. That's compared to 88 for fishing, meaning that you are 11 times more likely to be injured fishing than you are on a roller coaster. Watch out for that hook, huh? Try to keep in mind, when you get on that next ride, that BMN invert, that you are far more likely to be struck by lightning or to die in an asteroid strike. So relax and take a deep breath. Now we move to find out what is it that keeps those numbers so low. Roller coasters are smart. Now you wouldn't typically call a large hunk of steel or maybe wood smart, but trust me, they are. Every single roller coaster has hundreds of sensors, located anywhere from your restraint to all over the track. They work together with the ride's computer to determine where certain trains are, whether or not a restraint is locked, how fast a train is going, etc. These sensors can help ride operators determine if there is a problem and fix it before anything goes wrong. Theme parks typically open at 9 or 10 a.m., and you might think that this is because no reasonable person would get up before then, which is true. But it is also because it can take hours to inspect rides. According to Alton Towers, a major theme park in England, it can take them 8 hours to inspect some of their bigger rides, meaning that the parks need that extra time in the morning to inspect rides, do safety tests, and make sure that each ride is safe for all to ride. Rides also have things such as block sections, areas where only one train can enter at a time, and anti-rollback on the lift hill. If you hear that click-clack sound, that's the ride keeping you safe. In addition to all these safety features in a major country, each ride has to be certified every single year, often by that country's government, ensuring that it is safe to ride. There are also a couple things that you can do yourself to improve your own safety on a ride. First of all, make sure you're within the height and weight limit of the ride. Also, make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened. Doing these things will make sure that you are safe on the ride. Now, as you may have been able to tell, the first section of this podcast was devoted to the left side of your brain, basically telling you why, logically, you shouldn't be afraid to ride a coaster and that it is perfectly safe. Now, in the second section, let's deal with that pesky right side, the one that hears all about those safety standards, decides to ride the ride, and then when you pull into the parking lot and see the ride, it goes, "Aw, heck no." Let's put ourselves in the shoes of that person in the parking lot. You've seen that massive hypercoaster coaster. Maybe it's 240 feet tall or 73 meters. And you can't imagine yourself up there. Or you look at that massive inversion and you are just sure that you're going to fall out of that or something will go catastrophically wrong. The first thing that you can do is enter the park and get on the biggest ride you feel comfortable riding. Maybe it's a kiddie coaster, or maybe it's a woody. Maybe it's even an aero looper. Ride it, enjoy yourself, get in the mood to build up to the next one. Maybe this next one is a little bit taller, or maybe it has an inversion or two. Just get in the line. Maybe take a friend, not only to make you get on the ride, but also to calm you down and maybe ease some of those nerves. Keep slowly building up over the day, keeping one eye on that coaster just hours before you were sure you would ride. Finally, it's the end of the day, and you've reached that one. You know the one. The one you've looked at for years and never had the nerve to go on. The one that your brother went on as soon as he was tall enough and has never shut up about how you're a wuss for not going on. You get into the queue and you think there is no turning back now. I personally recommend thinking through to yourself just how unlikely it is that you will be hurt and how many safety features are built into that ride. If you can, try to deactivate the right side of your brain. At this point, it serves literally no purpose to you. You reach the front of the line, you see the exit. You can just pop out. Now at this point, you need to buckle down, both literally and metaphorically. Get that seatbelt on, and also just get ready. At this point, if you are still terrified, the thing that I did when I was in a situation like this was I just closed my eyes. I kept them shut for about half the ride, and only when I opened them did I realize what a fantastic time I was having. You might also want to employ this strategy. Buckle in, and now it's out of your hands. The ride starts. No turning back now. Ride on. This is the final episode of Coasters Explained. I want to thank all of you for your support and for over 100 views that we got on YouTube. It means so much to me that so many of you were able to learn about roller coasters through me. I hope you enjoyed the series. I'm Everett Johnson, and this is Coasters Explained. Until next time.